Man, I remember playing this fucking game. I think I was in high school, yeah, because we had those shitty netbooks, and I played Plants vs Zombies, and I got to the point where we had the damn corn on the cob nuclear missiles that you had to like aim manually, but they would absolutely just wipe the entire map and almost one shot almost any damn zombie that got to you. And I mean, this game was very popular for a while, like amongst other games like Clash of Clans and other games of that caliber. This one was huge. The first one was, I mean, it's just a game where you played, you got resources, you build plants that could shoot the fuck out of zombies. It was simple but perfect. And now I was told they added shit like this a couple years ago, and I was like, oh, well, here's the death throes of this game. But let's watch the Sunny V video. I mean, it's universally understood that any game that has microtransactions or in-game stores, like, that fundamentally messes with, like, it messes with the game. How do I say this? It fundamentally changes the product effectively. Like, every facet of the game is there to make you pay for microtransactions. Like, we've seen this with even single player fucking games, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Shadow of War. Or was it Shadow of Mordor? Like, it is, if you grew up in the golden age or played games in the golden age of video games, which was between like the 2000s to 2015s, like, you understand, you bought game for $60 and you got the whole damn game. And not only that, the game had replayability and not a single fucking microtransaction. You could spend like hundreds of hours in the game. And the only microtransaction, I guess, would be considered like DLC, but it's like I'm looking like back on StarCraft, like the expansion pack was effectively a whole nother game, right? Same thing with like Fallout, like New Vegas and Fallout 3. Like, the DLC were whole ass games on their own. And they existed for half the price, maybe even a third of the price of the product itself. So you were sold a whole game, and you were given a whole game as DLC. Now, you're sold a fifth of the game for full retail price, and they gate content behind more like purchases. Like, oh, if you don't pre-order, you're gated away from this. Or if you don't buy the season pass, you're gated away from that. Oh, you gotta pay for, things that help you get ahead. Like, it skews the entire game towards the micro, and they have to do this, right? I mean, the point is to make people buy microtransactions. So let's give this a watch, shall we?
Plants vs Zombies 1 was truly video game perfection. Reviewers couldn't find even one thing wrong with its simple addictive gameplay. Compare this to the recent Plants vs Zombies 3, which people have called a game that straight up comes from a garbage can, in which watching 30-second ads for double coin rewards is more fun than the game itself.
Didn't Steam do a thing? I was going to do a video about this, but completely forgot. Like, Steam made the rule that you're not allowed to have any ads in your game, period. Under no circumstances. Like, this might not apply to the Apple Store. But yeah, Steam was like, no ads in your fucking game. What the hell's wrong with y'all? Which is Big W for Steam. I mean, people are sick and tired of this idea that and obviously you have this in like mobile games because of course, but now they're slipping ads in product placements, which is fine with product placements, but ads into games you pay full price for, and people in Steam is like, no, you're not allowed to do that. So like, watch it be like you have to watch the ad. I mean, and I guess this makes sense. I mean, free coins per ad, but like I think Clash of Clans did the same thing where you're watching an ad and you got like gems. But it's like you can just give me gems for, I don't know, daily logins or having me achieve things. Like watch a fucking 30-second unskippable ad. Like, does this even work? Forcing people to watch ads? Like, does that compel people to consume that product? Because it doesn't work for me. But, I mean, millions of people played Clash of Clans. And if only like 1% of that was compelled to consume product based off the ad, I guess that's profitable, right?
Let's explore how Plants vs. Zombies eventually lost its way from an amazing tower defense game fall into the extremely predatory mobile game landscape. Firstly, what made the original so damn good? At a price of just $2.99 in the App Store, with no ads or extra in-game purchases, Plants vs. Zombies 1 was simply amazing value. The easy first level gets players addicted immediately.
In just one level, the game already indoctrinates you into its gameplay cycle flawlessly, and in a fun way.
With one 5-star review writing, I won't say that the game is a cakewalk, but it isn't particularly challenging either. Still, the game offers enough mental stimulation that I never once grew bored.
Yeah, it's not that the game was easy, it was simple, right? It was simple, and it had a specific style to it that made people enjoy playing the game. Like, this is like an iconic, like, this fucking plant was iconic in the face of the zombies. And sometimes simplicity is fine. Again, if you can maintain the style and maintain, like I played it and I achieved the highest level, well, like I said, the corn cob nukes, which was the true end game at the time. You're unkillable once you have those damn things. Like, you can play this or you can play the way I play and still just enjoy the game.
This is due to the game's incredible variety, offering loads of different plants, zombies, and music, with comments stating the soundtrack alone is enough to make you want the game. This makes it so entrancing that people can play for hours, which led to crazy commercial success. In addition to almost perfect professional reviews, Plants vs. Zombies became the highest rated App Store product, having sold more than 300,000 copies in its first 9 days available.
And there's also something else to say about, and we're suffering this problem where games have too many mechanics, too many things added onto them, that to the point where it kind of messes with the game. Like, you get this a lot with remakes, where you have the style of the game getting watered down in order to, I don't know, maybe push a couple more graphical fidelity, a little bit more pixels and maybe a little bit of, the modern day aesthetics. And it's like, okay, you have the modern day aesthetics, but you lose the soul and you lose the aesthetic of the game. What's an example, right? Because I'm saying this, but I'm really thinking Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories. Hopefully my porn doesn't pop up. Hearts, Chain of Memories. And this was for, I think this was for the Game Boy, it's for the 3DS, or was it Game Boy Advance? Yeah, the Game Boy Advance. I played it on the 3DS because you had the top thing. Yeah, like this cartridge. Like, this game had so much style despite reusing a lot of like places you've been to in like the first game. But it just had an interesting card-like style. And like this style right here, this, like, yeah, they reuse a lot of things and go through a lot of things in this top-down type thing. It was more simplistic than the first one. I mean, I get this is the newer graphics. But again, I like this. I like this a lot better because people wanted this changed into the same format as Kingdom Hearts 1. And like it happened, but you lost the style. Like do I want to play the video? Probably not. But they changed it to, I think it's like Rechain of Memories. And again, what happened was they lost this interesting style and they replaced it with, I don't know, just Kingdom Hearts 1 again. Like you see the arena, this arena you're fighting in here, right? Like you will, every single combat sequence will take place in this type of arena in the remake, whereas in the original it had different types of where you fought the enemies depended on the biome and where you fought them. I guess this is Twilight Town. So a bit of a side tangent, but I think I've made my point. Like, you can have things be simple, simplistic, and still maintain the style to the point where, yeah, again, this is the same game. Like, they reuse a lot of things, but it's just it feels different.
App Store launch record. Developers expanded the game to 13 other platforms, creating so much success for PopCap Games they'd be bought by EA for $650 million. Yep, EA. The company.
Yep, and there you go. There goes the downfall. EA runs off of charts, it runs off of spreadsheets, it runs off of trends. Like, they don't really, like, they published a lot of good games, but they don't have an identity. They're just sort of the overarching overlord that's like, you will do this, you will do that, and if you can't keep up with their ever-expanding list, they just shut your studio down. Like, this is why everyone universally hates EA. It's like Blizzard had an identity, Bethesda had an identity, Activision had an identity, BioWare had an identity. EA doesn't. They do not.
He was such an extreme reputation for greed, there's an entire Wikipedia page dedicated to criticism of the company. People have called their use of microtransactions a plague, which sadly began to infect Plants vs. Zombies, because on the 15th of August 2013, Plants vs. Zombies 2 came out, with one key difference compared to the first.
PopCap found a way to cram this game with as many in-app purchases
Oh
and
my
microtransactions
god.
as possible.
Like, looking at this filled me with rage. Like, none of this was here in the first game. Like, you can pay to have particular different types of plants. What the fuck? Like, that just makes me mad. And why does this style look... It looks a little different. I mean...
found a way to cram this game with as many in-app purchases and microtransactions as humanly possible, to the point where it's too much of a hindrance for me to actually enjoy the game.
Plants vs. Zombies 2 features microtransactions. Unlike in the previous entries to the series, new plants can be purchased with real money, as well as upgrades and coins. These items can also be bought in bundles to save some money. Certain plants could only be...
But all these would be things that in the first one you just got in game by just playing the game. And you see the shift, right? You see the shift of how games were back then. Like, the point of games in the golden age of gaming was to keep you playing off that one $60 purchase, and with the hopes that you'll recommend the game to other people. Games nowadays, you know, with the Zoomers and the newest type of gamers, is milking you at every single particular interaction with the game. Like, if having this here, if within 100 hours of a child playing, there's even a slight chance they'll drop that $2.99 to get the jalapeno. Like, they will do it. And this is just one child with the potential. Like, I wonder if, like, hundreds of thousands of children, and don't just buy this once, but buys multiple things off their mom's credit card. And at the end of the day, this game is marketed to children. That's the point. Like, that's the demographic who's going to be playing this game. You think children have, you know, an apt mind when it comes to making purchases? Like, oh, they use their dad and mom's card. Like, but nowadays, people are just desensitized to that, so they let them. Like, this is just crazy.
Be accessed using cold hard cash, and while coins could be naturally earned in game, you could pay up to $52 to instantly unlock them. The Pirate Seas and Wild West levels can also be unlocked without earning all of the required stars. They cost $5.49 each to instantly access. More controversial for whatever reason was the game's new art style. People argued that...
Yeah, like... I can't say I like this. I don't like this at all, because again, this has style. This looks like cartoonish baby poo-poo dude. Even the ground it sits on has style. This just looks like mass-produced schlop game. This is a game with identity. So, and a massive downgrade. And they're probably demanding even more money for this.
Controversial for whatever reason was the game's new art style. People argued that every single character looked to be designed by a totally different person, each of whom had their own way of drawing. There's full videos dedicated to the poorly designed plants, with the excessive discussion about this flaw being a meme within the community. This was because they'd hired a whole new team of designers, and under suspicious circumstances fired George Fan, who designed PVZ-1.
Oh, I remember reading about this. Yes, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, they fired him. What did he have a problem with? Was it... I think it was microtransactions that they added in the game. But I was told there were like 7, 8, 9 different things that he had a problem with. But the microtransactions was the one thing that they're like, we can't have you anymore. You don't want us making more money than we possibly need and using predatory shit against like kids. Like, get out of here, Buster. Before he even says anything, I think this is what it is.
All by himself. Well, an article later confirmed EA fired Plants vs. Zombies creator for refusing microtransactions in sequel.
Yeah, and again, this is what I've been told. Like, things like this is a fireable offense. Being like, there's absolutely no reason why you need to add microtransactions. Like, the game can sell fine on its own merit. Like, going against the company's, like, whatever decision that they go with, in most NDAs and in most contracts nowadays, will get you fired. Like, it's put on literally the exact same level as, like, a sexual harassment in the workplace. Literally one for one. And one, people can fucking understand. The other, it's like, well, this guy made the first game by himself. You would think he knows how to make the game in a way that people want to. Like, people bought his product. But EA's like, no, this is what we're doing. No, goodbye.
Explaining that George had lost his job as he didn't agree with the pay-to-win model. He'd partially confirmed this by tweeting, regarding recent rumors, it is true I was laid off by EA/PopCap, and also true that I was against making PvZ2 a freemium game. That's all I'll say on the matter for now. Sure do miss paying for a game once, and unlocking cool things by actually, playing that game.
Yeah, and see, someone like this has grown up in the golden age of gaming, and they 100% understand how it was, where you paid once for a game, got hundreds of hours out of it, and it was consumer friendly instead of locking aspects of a game behind paywalls and microtransactions. Like, and there's very few of these people out there. Because the Zoomer kids, they're so inundated with this that if you point it out, they'll attack you. Like, they will never understand how games used to be. And then there's a bunch of casual older guys. But this guy, he's holding the line.
You and me both, man. These elements led to videos claiming Plants vs. Zombies 1 is better than Plants vs. Zombies 2, but that's not to say that the second game was awful. It featured so many different plants it's hard to even count them, and offered 312 levels compared to just 50 in PvZ1. These PvZ2 levels were each set at varying levels of difficulty, better serving a wider range of players. The second game
Yeah, but there's a problem with that too, because now you reach a situation where the game is too damn complex that people aren't really going to care, like Warframe. But granted, Warframe has one level of complexity. Now, it's a relatively high level of complexity, but every facet of the game locks things away from you until you're, say, of a certain level, or if you're a certain part ways through the stories, or a certain part way through the star chart. So it eases you into that complexity as opposed to just slapping their cock on you and being like, alright, here it is. Like League of Legends and like World of Warcraft suffers from so many layers of complexity that there's no reason why you would ever, if you've never played those games, there's no reason why you would ever start. And it's to the point where companies understand this, right? This is why you have Fortnite Classic, where they brought it back. This is why, hey, World of Warcraft Classic, man, that's a tongue twister. Because companies are understanding that once you reach a certain height of complexity, you lock yourself off from, like, potentially new players. And again, this is something separate from, like, difficulty. It's separate from, like, not kind of from mechanics. It's just, like, you have all these layers upon layers that people just don't even, they look at it and they're like, I can't get into this.
therefore also received amazing feedback, with critics stating the game is just as enjoyable without spending a dime, and that you'll only need to pay if you're exceptionally impatient or just not very good at these kind of games. The microtransaction model also meant the game was totally free, leading to 25 million downloads in the first 2 weeks, more than PvZ1 had achieved in 4 years. In fact, according to Hey I'm Jay, for every dollar the original was making, PvZ2 made 26,000. Then therefore,
Oh no, it was definitely, like, it made more money, absolutely. But the fact that they should have just made the game $5 and added 0 microtransactions, and like the fact that the microtransactions are there pisses me off, because again, this is a game for children, right? And I don't know, maybe people that, like, grown people who've played the original and are curious, like, kids are playing this game, right?
therefore make the original free for every player, although this meant people would be paying with their time.
It's free now, which naturally means that the game absolutely bombards you with ads.
Yeah, there's also
there are ads
this.
before and after levels now, and even during, where the game tries to distract you as much as possible to watch it.
Wait. So the damn lawnmower is locked behind an ad? So what, you can't use the lawnmower unless you... The lawnmower effectively like your one save. Like when the zombies get past all your plants, it hits the lawnmower and they wipe out everyone on this lane. But you can only use it once per lane. So the damn thing's despawning because of an ad.
A video for an extra item.
Before every level you have to watch an unskippable ad, then sit there prompted to download what you watched. At the end of every level, you're forced to briefly play a different mobile game, with the hope that you'll download it later. Items can be earned by watching further ads, which are even served to those who initially paid for the game. You could say it's even more annoying than the microtransaction model, which was earning so much money for PvZ2 that start to build Plants vs Zombies 3. In the meantime, developers took a detour and put out Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare. This third-person shooter was certainly different, but extremely well received, achieving consistent reviews of 7 out of 10 or higher. Garden Warfare was surprisingly amazing. I remember spending definitely over 500 hours grinding it as a kid. They therefore released Garden Warfare 2, which was even more successful than the first, confirming the third-person shooter style was perfect for the series. So
I mean, I thought those were just kind of separate entities than, you know, Plants vs. But I don't know, never really played those games.
And then announced what was basically Garden Warfare 3, developers likely expected another successful title. It was called Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville, which featured an epic trailer in 2019, gaining over 15 million views from super excited fans. But with people eventually stating,
this whole trailer was fantastic and I love it. Too bad I love the trailer more than the game.
The game was a total flop.
Got
Plants vs
him.
Zombies Battle for Neighborville is one of the worst games you've never heard of. Extensive posts like this called it a complete and utter disaster in almost every way, and one of, if not the worst multiplayer game I have played in 2019. It referenced problems such as bugs and graphical errors, textures and map design are absolutely horrible, whilst the characters all control awfully and feel very unenergetic, since the sound design is absolutely garbage.
Yeah, let me guess. They yet again outsourced this game to another group of people across the planet in other regions of the world, and it all came together to make something that maybe somewhat semi-function. Like, you see, this is the thing with mini games in the past 4 years, is that they're made like cars, where one part is made in one building, another part is made in another building, and then other things are made halfway across the world in another building, And usually when this happens, you kind of get situations like these.
Then, of course, there were the microtransactions.
Yeah.
These need to be unlocked, and the way you unlock these characters is through a specific challenge called giving EA $30. But the game already costs $30 to buy, and you expect players to spend that twice in order to play the new characters?
As mentioned, the game already cost $40, but demanded an extra $30 to unlock every character, which could be unlocked by grinding the game, but would take about 3 months to earn one costume.
Yeah, and you see what I mean when I say microtransactions are added. Like, when they are added in a game, it changes the formula of that game. Because the point clearly is to make you pay for the microtransactions. Like, if the microtransactions wasn't there and they've spent, like, I don't know, like a week to get in, I don't know how many costumes are in there. Like, people wouldn't really, or let's be generous, if it spent like 1 month, people wouldn't really care. But the microtransactions are clearly there to make you pay for them.
Is therefore dismissed the game completely, writing as a player who played the 2 previous games of this one, I can say that this game is a joke on the Plants vs Zombies franchise. Bad graphics, boring gameplay, boring characters. Compared to Garden Warfare 1 and 2, this game is very bad. They'd therefore stop updating it after only 11 months, leading to comments like, "It is so sad how fast this game died. If it had a little more time to develop and didn't have microtransactions, then it would have never disappeared." But apparently the franchise didn't learn their lesson, as during that very same year, Plants vs Zombies 3 was nearing completion. They'd had 7 full years since PvZ 2.
Oh shit, that was relatively recent.
Setting high expectations for PvZ 3. However, when the first bit of gameplay was posted to YouTube, people instantly disliked it. PvZ 1, skill. PvZ 2, wallet. PvZ 3 won't download it. Why? For starters, the game was now in portrait, which to be honest was probably more convenient, but at the same time it looked extremely weird. The lawn is literally horizontal. Why? Why is the display vertical? The game had also gone from 2D to 3D.
Look at this stupid fucking design. Look at this retarded design. What the fuck? This is like a nightmare. This is like an autistic oddish. What the fuck?
Yeah, and had another change in art style, prompting memes such as this.
Yeah, like, again, and you also reach this problem where things are, like, what's a good thing to say about, like, they're over-designed to a fault. Like, what's a good example? Like, I already did one example. I'm not going to do another one. I'm not going to derail the video, but imagine it like in Halo, like the assault rifle in Combat Evolved versus the assault rifle in Halo 4. Like, I like the sound of the assault rifle in Halo 4 Guardians, but Halo 1 Combat Evolved just had so much of that style to it, whereas in 4 it's over-designed to a fault. It's very minor. It's a very, like, minor thing to talk about, but once you see it, once you see the over-designedness, fuck it, I'm going to another example. Fuck it. World of Warcraft. Is it classic weapons? I spelled that wrong. Will I get it here? Like this. Oh, fuck. Don't get me send me to the damn video. What was this weapon? I can't fucking read that. like that weapon right here clearly looks cartoonish, but it clearly has so much like you can tell just by looking at the weapon. I'm trying to, what's the name of that weapon? I can't see it because I'm fucking blind. Like, you can clearly see the style and what little design it has. That's another example. I keep going to the damn videos, images. Like, yeah, like weapons like these, right? Like, I hate that you can't click this again to see the full video, the full... Can I open a new tab? Yeah. Like, weapons like these are clearly, you know, made in the older World of Warcraft style. And let's go to World of Warcraft Modern. Like, then you get weapons like these, where they're just, I mean, they look good and they look cool, but they're these over, what's the word I use? Like, over textured, like, over, corrected in design, like weapons. Like, I think this is like a side-by-side of some of them. Like, yeah, I think you have the older ones, which are here. Then you have the newest ones. And people, I mean, the new design of weapons look fine. Like, look, yeah, this right here. Like, this is the sword now with the skull and, like, all the edges. This was the sword back then. I think this is it. Well, it doesn't have the skull. Okay, maybe that's not a good example. But you can clearly see the style of these weapons and how they popped out versus these, you know, over... I can't think of the word that I use. Like, they just have so much to the weapon to where over-designed of the weapons that, again, people like, but just looks. I mean, you lose the style when you over-design weapons to a fault, and that's what's happening with this game. If you look at this versus this, because this was just a very bad downgrade, but this was over-designed to hell. That I'd say this is even more inferior to this. No, that's a pretty low fucking bar.
This, it is evolving just backwards.
Yes.
The new pea shooter model looked absolutely awful, which sadly couldn't be upgraded through microtransactions. With videos like Plants vs. Zombies
you have
3
to
is
buy it? What?
broken.
You had to buy upgrade graphics for 50.
Microtransactions. With videos like Plants vs. Zombies 3 is mechanically broken, gaining over 2 million views, PvZ3 was taken off the App Store. They'd re-release it 1 year later, to which people said compared to the alpha this looks great, however again it still wasn't good enough. This happened again in 2022.
Yeah, they're really trying.
2024, receiving the same feedback at every single point. The game was simply boring.
There is just nothing to do in this game.
Like, look at it. What the?
besides
Who the hell asked for all of this? Like, you went just from a simplistic design with simplistic mechanics to what the fuck? What the hell is all of this? Like, you're a hub world, and Plants vs. fucking Zombies.
Find the stupid main quest that just sucks. 90-something levels of doing the same thing over and over and over is
Like,
so...
man, this... Like, I can't get over... Like, what the fuck are these things? What the fuck are these? Like, and I'm looking at this, it's too flashy, too many things are happening that you can't even... Wow, level 92, fuck.
Oh, boring.
I've just spent 3 hours playing the 4th beta of PvZ3, and I gotta say, how does EA get away with this? The game is 10,000% dumbed down, no more collecting plants, no more input on plant choosing, sun is now worth 1 and plants cost 1 to 5 plus, animations feel capped at 10 FPS, gameplay feels unfun. Others complained it just had a scummy feeling.
Right out of the gate, it seems to just have that manipulative mobile game feel about it. You know that feeling.
Everything about this game feels off. It's like I'm watching an App Store ripoff of PvZ.
Yeah, like,
As a
this
result,
looks
it's
like,
still
it
in
looked like just a...
development 5 years after its first alpha launch.
Yeah, it looked like just a ripoff, yeah. It's like, this is like a Chinese ripoff of the game. But no, this is the actual game now. Like... Man, it's sad. It's kind of sad to see games and properties that set the stage being pissed on by companies like EA that only sees entertainment as profit and don't understand that, if you just make a good game, the profit will roll in by itself. But it's like, well, I said EA doesn't have an identity. They do, it's just a terrible fucking identity. We know it's bad, and the whole comment section didn't know Planet PvZ even existed. Yeah, and this is also the thing, right? They drop games that, like, if you spend so much... Games cost a fuck ton to make. So, you would think if you spend so fucking much into making the game, you'd want as many people as possible to play it. No, that's not what companies think. They knew the game was going to be garbage. In fact, I knew exactly where this video was going to go the moment EA was mentioned. Is nuts. Yeah, the mini says, bought by EA. It's like, now we know what happened. You missed the pea shooters having a tear on the thumbnail. Yeah. Plants vs. Zombies Heroes, so unknown it wasn't even mentioned. Yeah. Was that their attempt to trying to be like League of Legends? I don't know. Fun fact, in PvZ2, PopCaps were the ones who pushed for microtransactions, not EA. I mean, probably. But, I mean, to fit EA's, like, relatively idiotically high standards, you had to add things like that. The Outside PvZ2 was actually very good when it first launched, and no one really had a problem with it until recently. Only in its update of the past few years was the art style animation gone all over the place. I've heard this could be because it being outsourced. Yeah, this is what I think. You gotta remember this game has been updating and evolving for more than a decade. The current game is so far different to that of 2013. All the plants you show on screen, apart from pea shooter and sunflower, are new plants added recently. And yeah, I mean, adding plants seems fine. I mean, I'm fine with that, but that's then I go back to the level of complexity that's added to, like, you cap yourself away from a certain demographic of players. And the complexity doesn't even really add to the game. It's just complexity for complexity's sake. Like, say what you want about the complexity of World of Warcraft. It adds to the game sometimes, most of the time. Don't cry, little PvZ fans. Uncle YouTube got enough PvZ downfall videos to keep you entertained your entire life. Algorithm bring PopCap, good, EA bad, ASAP. ASAP. Boys hungry. Oh, that was a lot of word salad. I didn't even know Plants vs. Zombies 3 was a thing prior to this video. Me too, brother. I think I heard about. I knew 2 was a thing. Garden Warfare was a thing, but 3, no. To be fair, Garden Warfare would never come out if EA didn't buy PopCap. I mean, was Garden Warfare fine? Sure. But did anyone ask for it? Not really. Trying to milk PopCap good, EA bad, and big year 2025 is crazy. But anyway, man, sad to watch yet another Titan fall because of greed. But if a game can't like survive the greed of companies, I mean, you can tell like Plants vs Zombies had its heyday, and hey, now it's all gone. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. Peace.